Acts chapter 7, verse 30 to 53. And when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai an angel of the Lord in a flame of fire in a bush. When Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight, and as he drew near to behold it, the voice of the Lord came unto him, saying, I am the God of thy fathers, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses trembled and durst not behold. Then said the Lord to him, Put off thy shoes from thy feet, for the place where thou standest is holy ground. I have seen the affliction of my people which is in Egypt, and I have heard their groaning, and am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt. This Moses whom they refused, saying, Who made thee a ruler and a judge? The same did God send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. He brought them out. After that he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt, and in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, A prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear. This is he, that was in the church in the wilderness, with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers, who received the lively oracles to give unto us. To whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again into Egypt, saying unto Aaron, Make us gods to go before us. For as for this Moses, which brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him. And they made a calf in those days, and offered sacrifice unto the idol, and rejoiced in the works of their own hands. Then God turned, and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. As it is written in the book of the prophets, O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles, whom God drave out before the face of our fathers unto the days of David, who found favor before God and desired to find a tabernacle for the God of Jacob. But Solomon built him an house. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? Hath not my hand made all these things? Yes, stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Holy Ghost. As your fathers did, so do ye. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? And they have slain them, which showed before of the coming of the Just One, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers, who have received the law by the disposition of angels, and have not kept it. Stephen continues his defense by returning to the life of Moses. After spending 40 years in the land of Midian, Moses encountered the angel of the Lord in the burning bush. There God revealed himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and commissioned Moses to return to Egypt to deliver Israel from bondage. Stephen emphasizes an important truth. The very Moses whom Israel had rejected, asking, Who made thee a ruler and a judge, was the same man whom God appointed to be both ruler and deliverer. The rejection of God's chosen servant did not prevent God from accomplishing his purpose. Instead, God exalted the one whom the people had refused. Moses led Israel out of Egypt through mighty signs and wonders, crossing the Red Sea and guiding them through the wilderness for 40 years. Yet Stephen reminds the council that Moses himself pointed forward to someone even greater. He prophesied that God would raise up another prophet like him, and Israel was commanded to hear him. Stephen's audience knew this prophecy well, but they had failed to recognize that Jesus Christ is the prophet Moses foretold. Although God gave Israel his word through Moses, the people repeatedly rebelled. While Moses was receiving God's commandments, the Israelites turned their hearts back toward Egypt and persuaded Aaron to make the golden calf. Instead of worshiping the living God who had delivered them, they rejoiced in an idol made by their own hands. Stephen explains that this pattern of rebellion continued throughout Israel's history. Because of their persistent idolatry, God eventually gave them over to the false worship they desired, just as the prophets had warned. Their exile was the consequence of continually rejecting the Lord. Stephen then speaks about the tabernacle and the temple. The tabernacle in the wilderness was built according to God's instructions, and later Solomon built the temple. Yet Stephen quickly reminds the council that God's presence cannot be confined to a building. Quoting Isaiah, he declares that heaven is God's throne and the earth his footstool. The Creator of all things cannot be contained within temples made with human hands. At this point, Stephen's message reaches its climax. He stops recounting Israel's history and directly confronts the council. He calls them stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears because they continually resisted the Holy Ghost, just as their fathers had done. Throughout Israel's history, God's messengers had been rejected, persecuted, and even killed. Stephen asks a searching question. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted? The prophets announced the coming of the Just One, yet the nation repeatedly rejected them. Now the members of the council had completed that pattern by betraying and murdering Jesus Christ himself. Although they had received God's law, they had failed to keep it. Instead of submitting to God's revelation, they resisted the very one to whom the law pointed. Stephen's defense becomes a solemn indictment. The men judging him stood guilty before the God whose word they claimed to defend. This passage reveals the tragic pattern of Israel's history. Again and again, God raised up faithful servants, and again they were rejected. That pattern reached its greatest expression when the nation rejected and crucified its promised Messiah. Stephen courageously exposed this truth, knowing that faithfulness to God was more important than preserving his own life. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more KJV Bible teaching. Until next time, search the Scriptures. Grace be with you.